Hey guys, something I'm noticing right now when I'm editing this is that I have a huge delay between the audio that comes from FL Studio and the screen, while my microphone is still in sync with the camera. So I want to apologize for that. And as I've recorded quite some video material for this little series already, it's gonna be here for this week and probably next week as well. And I hope to have fixed the problem after that, because otherwise I gotta redo entire parts of the mixdown. So it was just a little disclaimer, but enjoy the ride. Hopefully you'll learn something from this mixdown video and enjoy the video. Cheers! Hey guys, my name is Nibiri, and for this Synth Saturday we're continuing our mixdown of my track One More Time. And for today we're gonna do the break. And the first part of the break that we're gonna do is the big sounds. So as I've explained with previous videos as well, when you're making a break, just use sounds that are huge already. So we're gonna work with our pads first, because the pads are really nice sounds that fill up the warmth and the background, and that's what we like. Let's start off with this one. Let's put it to a mixer channel, and as you can hear, these are strings. So these strings will be really the body of our break sound. So let's just cut the lows and put the volume down a tiny bit so it doesn't play too loud. And behind the strings we have this weird pad. It's a little bit phasing and it's kind of sounds like strings as well. It just really works quite well with the strings that we have. So let's put these on here and let's just mix them down, give it a little low cut. And pull down the volume as well. And let's make sure these two layers fit together. So when you're following this mixdown series, just make sure to have kinda of an idea of how you want certain sounds to be placed in a mix. So as I said, the strings are going to be the main body of our break. So I'm putting the strings up a bit more and putting that pad behind it. So we already get some separation in between the sounds just by using some volume and some EQ. And now to really give this more space, we're just gonna put some reverb on there. Now if this is your first time watching my videos, I already have my Synth channel with reverb done already. So, and this is how it looks. I'm just giving it a low cut at around 200 Hertz. And this is my Valhalla room. It's just quite a big decay with some pre-delay as well. It's almost 7 seconds and 200 milliseconds of pre-delay. And I'm just using the Pro C to kick up and push that reverb up so that the reverb is more audible in the long term. Let's just put some reverb on our strings first. So I'm putting this at around 9 o'clock. I know you can't see this because my camera is going to be in the way. Just put it around 9 o'clock, make it a little bit more wet and just give it some 3D space, but not too much reverb on there because that's going to put the sound all the way at the back, and that's something that we're going to do with this pad. This pad is going to have way more reverb. So where the strings were around this far on the Synth channel, this one's going to be probably around halfway or maybe a little bit more. And now this sounds like a nicely uniform and warm body for our break. So once we have that warm body, we're gonna add some sound on top of this. So we're gonna take this plug over here, gonna put that in the mixer channel, and we're gonna EQ this first. And now we're gonna fix the volume so it sounds nice with the rest of the layers. And now I'm gonna put some reverb over this. So for now, this plug is really in front of our strings and our pad, and that's fine. When we're gonna mix this with our leads, we're gonna make sure that this is all fitting nicely together. And for the send amount for the reverb, I put this at around 10 o'clock. So it's more wet than the strings, but it's not too wet as the pad. And now these sounds are actually all the big body sounds. As you'll see throughout the track, these are the sounds that are going to be making the body of the breaks, and there's just going to be sounds added on top of this that are playing in certain parts of it, but not the entire through the entire breaks. So yeah, now we're going to add our sub from our lead, because now we have a body to work with. And we're gonna balance out this body from our break with our leads. So main thing we're gonna do is just pull down all these volumes of the leads, so we have some more air to breathe. And now that everything sounds right, we're just gonna move the sliders of the big body break sounds individually to create a nice uniform background to our melody. And this is it. Now the breaks just sound balanced, and when there's no leads in here, when there's no leads playing over these sounds, this sounds nice and it sounds balanced. And now when the leads come in, it will sound nice as well. Now everything sounds nice together. I'm just gonna do my first automations to really make some parts of the track move. Because over here we're noticing that when we want to work on this break, we're gonna have a melody playing over it with some random cuts. And these cuts should be at the background. So we're gonna take this lead layer, 6, and we're gonna put a filter over here. If you don't have FabFilter Volcano, just use Fruity Filter or any other type of low pass filter. And we're just gonna make this move a bit. So we're gonna give it some space to put the automation clip in there. And then we put an automation on the frequency. And I'm gonna put this at the bottom over here, so it has some nice space. And it keeps the project clean. So over here it's gonna start playing, but I don't want to have this up front. So we're gonna put this on the back by doing some eye cutting, and I'm gonna make it open up as the lead is playing. So probably it's gonna be something around this. And now we're going to balance this out with our other pads and strings and that kind of stuff. Now this sounds great. I'm just gonna do this to be sure. Sometimes FL Studio, in my opinion, with my experience, it just fucks up the automation and the timing of it. So I'm just gonna put this up before the melody starts playing, so we are sure that this filter opens up before it needs to be playing fully. So now we have this break sound, and this sounds nice and huge already. And yeah, now we're gonna add some little details for the beginning of the track before that the melody kicks in. So let's say we take this one. What kind of sound is this? Some other type of pad. So we're just gonna put this in between our other layers. We know that our main big layers are sounding right already, and it's sounding right with the melody. So don't play around with that anymore. They're settled, they're good. Now we're just gonna put this extra sound somewhere in that mix. Now I threw a little bit of reverb on here, around 11 o'clock. So just to put this a little bit more in the background, but it's a nice moving pad that's just making the break sound a lot more interesting to listen to. Now one big thing I'm missing, and that's something we didn't do yet that's something we didn't do yet last week, is putting a delay on our leads. And I really feel this melody just needs some delay. So we're gonna pull up a delay and make this melody just move a lot more with a nice delay. Let's see what timing we want to use. This timing works, and let's just pull down the sidechain a little bit. I'm just using the sidechain from the top leads, and I'm using the dry wet over here to just mix down or mix in this delay so it fits nicely with the top lead. Now we're going to add some more sounds to our break. Maybe this one. I think this is one of my guitars I wanted to use in this track. I just wanted to use some different sounds in here. So let's see where we're going to put this in our mix. It's a more low focus sound, so it has some more bass. yeah, just a little bit more of the low frequency. So we're just gonna see how we can make this fit with the rest of our sounds. Now there's no real sub when we're playing this part of the break, so it's fine. It has a space for our bass guitar, but I do want to hear a little bit more of the highs, and when we just put this sound too quiet, all you hear is just the bass. So I'm gonna put some saturation on here. I'm gonna see if I can maybe create a little bit more brighter bass guitar. Now just the high end sounds a little bit more present, so that's what I wanted. And I think this is gonna be sounding a lot more balanced in our mix. A quick thing I was checking, and that's something I don't notice because I don't have a sub, is if the sub frequencies are kind of in the right, or in the same balance. With the kick, it's going to be the loudest sub, of course, but with this bass guitar, since I'm not really used to using a bass guitar in mixes, I just wanted to make sure that this sub from the bass guitar is at the right level with the sub of the melody. And I was just basically checking that with EQ. And it's kind of the same level. The leads have a little bit more sub, but it's alright. That's nice. It just makes the entire track flow a little bit more. Now one more thing I really want to add today is I want to add, where is it? One of the transition effects, this hall kick. Hall kicks are such an amazing tool to just open up huge atmospheres, and it's just an amazing sound to start a break with, or just make a huge impact to make a huge break sound even more huge. Now this sounds really nice. Let's just add this little plug and then we're done for today. I hope this just already shows you that when you have some big sounds, mix those down, then mix it down behind your leads. There's not even much automation that you really need to do to make this sound normal and sound balanced. If everything's in a good place, you don't really need to do too much to make it fit as a track. Now we're gonna drown these in reverb because there's really nice plucky sound. And we're gonna low cut this, of course. And now we're gonna put this nicely in our mix. That's all that we need to do. accidentally touched the timing of this one. So if you want to place this correctly in the track, you should have this final one at end where the hall kick is. So it helps opening up our break. And to show you how much reverb I actually put on this plug, it's almost at this point. So really just drown this one nicely in reverb and put it kind of in the front of your mix, and it will just help making this huge atmosphere. So now we've added this sound, we've come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something from this, and hopefully I'll see you back soon again. Thank you for watching, cheers!